Hey everybody, I ran into this video of this time lapse of the Earth from space. This guy does the usual railing on and on about how dumb flat earthers are, and you know the story. But I'm looking at this footage and his channel is called Sky Story. Isn't that interesting? Yeah, that's what we think of your space stuff. It's just a story. It's a good story, good sci-fi story. But he's showing this footage, so this means this footage was taken from space. So, of course, I think it's fake because we don't live on a spinning ball. I've shown it's impossible on my last rotation videos. So here's a video from space. I want to know, where is it from? Is it from the Himawawi satellite? All the trolls, and I've had a ton of trolls, tell me, where'd this footage come from? At least give something to show that you can prove on your side that you think it's real footage. See, I think it's fake. Well, because like I made the case, we can't live on a spinning ball. So anything you show me that implies or says or shows that we live on a spinning ball, it's not real. But show me that it's real. Give some proof. Ball earthers. Now, I can't go to Sky Story. No flat earther can. He just said, and you'll see, I'll play a little clip of this. He said he's going to ban or delete comments from every flat earther. He's not interested in arguing with children. Yeah. So I can't go over. So if you guys can tell me in the comments, please, where did this come from? Prove this is real footage, at least to your ability, because you might say, well, I can't prove it to you, flat earthers, you'll just deny. Well, give me your proof. And I just want to see what you think, because I think it's fake. Okay? All right, look forward to your comments. I'm going to play this clip and go ahead and enjoy. And again, this is edited. The audio I've edited, and I sped up the video. And I'll leave a link to the original video. You guys can go check it out. It's called Sky Story Channel. And the video is called The Flat Earth Cult, a Disturbing Commitment to Ignorance. All right? And don't forget to like and subscribe. And there's some links in the description if you'd like to help support the channel. Thank you so much. And here we go.
The following video has been brought to you by the Dunning-Kruger Effect Corporation, proud sponsors of the Flat Earth Cult. So I'll start out by saying that this is going to be my last video on the Flat Earth Cult. I would never have addressed the topic at all had they not started appearing on the channel, I guess drawn by the channel's growing popularity. And I wanted to state where I stood on this right off the bat and nip it in the bud. This is not the channel to bring your cult nor attempt to dicker a debate about it. And going forward, any flat earthers that appear will instantly be blocked, period. I'm not interested in arguing with flat earthers for the same reason that I don't argue with children who believe in Santa Claus. Though, at least with children, it's cute. They're children. But when adults hang on to stuff like this, in this day and age, it's just sad. When you think of persons using satellites-enabled global communications technology to argue the Earth is flat, like I said in the past, that takes a very special kind of stupid. And it's just not something I really care to waste time arguing with. I can't be bothered to argue with flat earthers. If their understanding of basic science is so broken, how do you speak to persons like that without years of remedial education? Trying to explain even the most rudimentary science to them is like trying to explain calculus to kindergarteners. Given the degree of ignorance that I saw in the replies by flat earthers, I could certainly see how it is that they think they live in such a magical world. But then I started kindergarten and learned about things like gravity and the fact that air has mass and weight. Like all children, I was ignorant, I received education, and I learned. But persons who hang on to this flat earth cult, this isn't about ignorance. This is a willful choice to deny facts. It is in fact stupidity. Stupidity could be defined as willingly embracing fallacy. Though if we were to be a little bit more technical in defining the flat earth cult, we might say they represent the Dunning-Kruger effect and they're proud of it. So if you're unfamiliar with what the Dunning-Kruger effect is, it's a psychological principle that states that when people receive education, they become aware of how much they don't know. So while they develop expertise, that expertise also leads them to understand how much more there is yet to learn, not just in their fields, but in every other field. They become humble in the face of creation, realizing the limits of their knowledge. On the other hand, persons without knowledge have not had a chance to get a real sense of the limits of their expertise. In other words, they don't know what they don't know, so they fail to understand the limitations of their lack of knowledge. And when we apply this to persons who subscribe to things like the Flat Earth cult, What we see is the Dunning-Kruger effect with gusto. They are appallingly ignorant of science, and that makes them absolutely certain that they understand it. Add in the echo chamber of a cult, and you get the Dunning-Kruger effect magnified. Ignorance with determination. They have literally convinced themselves that their lack of knowledge, their pseudoscience, is an ideal, and they avoid science and knowledge and education. Because in their minds, education, scientific fact, it's all part of some big conspiracy that is hell-bent on teaching them that the world is flat. In essence, the Flat Earth cult demonstrates that when persons choose ignorance, when they actually choose it, they will defend it with an amazing degree of determination and feel very self-righteous in doing so. This is evident in the Flat Earth cult in their blanket denial of any and all evidence that runs contrary to their Flat Earth worldview. I mean, there really is no debating whether or not the world is a globe, not least of which is because there are countless images of the Earth from space, though Flat Earthers will simply write off every single one of those images as CGI, from satellite photos to clips used by meteorologists to portray the weather. And though computers were rudimentary in the 1960s when the astronauts went to the moon, they will not only say that the astronauts' trip was fake, but that imagery was also CGI. And of course, images shot of space by tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of astrophotographers all around the world, that's just CGI. And even when some of their own went to Antarctica during the summer to prove that the sun would set, and it didn't, then they just wrote them off too. Because, you guessed it, CGI. Essentially, as far as flat earthers and spaces fakers are concerned, anything that doesn't fit their narrative, it's all smoke and mirrors and it's going to be dismissed. It is a defense of ignorance, ergo stupidity, but more than that, it is a pushy cult-fueled Dunning-Kruger effect, a declaration of I don't know what I don't know, but I'm proud of it. There really is no point in debating with persons like that. They're not looking to learn, they're looking to prove a point. But I think it is just horrifying that humans can be so vulnerable to ignorance, getting on board with it and defending it at all costs. I know this makes this video kind of dark, and I like my videos to be more upbeat. While flat earthers and their nonsense are not something I give a whole lot of thought to, the growing trend of the world toward ignorance of this kind and others is very concerning to me. It's amazing that we can live in a time when there are almost 200 space launches per year, and anyone can talk instantly with anyone anywhere in the world through satellite-enabled global communications, or point a telescope at the sky and see the substantially large International Space Station or the Chinese Space Station. And yet, here we are, teetering on the dark ages, in a disturbing era when some people choose superstition over opportunities for scientific enlightenment.
In 2002, Blue Marble 2.0, NASA's Rob Simon made this. And it had wide appeal too. For example, it ended up as the default background on the iPhone.
I didn't even know until I bought an iPhone and turned it on and kind of did a little happy dance.
Simon's job is...
It's primarily taking data and making pictures out of it.
That's what this is, a composite of data sets from several different instruments translated into a picture.
To us, the really cool thing was the data set. Up until that point, there was no realistic color map of the globe anywhere.
So the land layer here comes from
the Moderate Resolution Imaging Spectroradiometer aboard Terra.
And the tricky part here was the weather.
So we actually had to take clouds out.
They stashed the clouds for later, went onto the ocean. That came from an instrument that measures phytoplankton in the sea.
Where it was low, I colored it dark blue because they're low mostly in mid-oceans. And then where it was a little bit higher, it was like a little bit brighter green.
Then add the clouds back in.
There's a small problem with it because there's a very slight gap in between each orbit.
So some of those are painted on.
It is photoshopped, but it's has to be.
Then
there was another layer to sort of simulate the atmosphere.
And then there's this little bright spot.
It's called the specular highlight. So it's the reflection of sunlight off of water.
Those are the pieces, but you can't just slap them all together.
It just didn't look realistic. It looks kind of flat, or the clouds are sort of too see-through. So I just hit Command-Z a lot.
There's artistry to creating the world.
What I imagine it to be. Unfortunately, I'm not an astronaut.
What you're going to see is absolutely going to blow your mind, and I'm just going to leave that with you. So here we have the fake blue marble image, and what they're going to do is they're going to mirror it right to left, And look at the interesting picture that comes out of that. So you might think, oh, well, that's, you know, you can do that with a lot of things. That's a coincidence, right? Well, you could think that. But now, what we're going to do is he's going to take this image and we are going to not only flip it, but we're going to rotate it. And then we're going to do the image and look what comes out now. All right? Just take a look at that for a minute. What we're seeing here is we're seeing like a Masonic apron. We're seeing the all-seeing eye. We are seeing like an Anunnaki type of reptilian creature here with some sort of, I don't know, halo or crown or something like that. You have the symbol here that's on the back of the dollar bill, E pluribus unum. But this is straight up Luciferian, guys, and they put it right in front of our face. You just have to know where to find it. This is what we're dealing with, and it is an uphill battle, believe me.
Some stuff for you regarding NASA and the Globe Earth. In Dante's Inferno, very famous, Dante Inferno, everyone played Devil May Cry, the video game. Satan, what we call the demon lord, is portrayed as a giant demon with 3 faces and a pair of bat-like wings affixed under each chin. You can find this from Wikipedia, nothing special, and popular culture. So that's the Globe Earth, the blue marble thing that you have the 3 faces there, if you can see it. So once you put the 2 globes together, and you have the whole eye, nose, and lips and chin, and this is what you get once you take out the rest of the thing. So you can actually see what they put via the IT software, computer science, computer software in their blue marble, which is not the Earth globe seen from space, but it's a 3D CGI made environment. And again, with the thing with the bats, I've told you before that the continents and everything else do like a bat wing. So you have the human body with the horns, and then that's at the bat wings. So not as cool as Batman from the comics and the movies, but I hope you understand. And again, the red thing is the snake tongue. Imagine a snake head there, and the white circle, that's why it has like a head going to the tail, the Ouroboros, which again, it's something I'm not going to go into detail because pretty much all of you know what the Ouroboros is. Especially if you read Sanskrit texts from India, you will know so much. And just to point out, you know, again, next time, whenever people laugh and they say flat earthers, why do you laugh at people by telling them flat earthers? We're just telling you what the reality is. So this is the real stuff. It's reality. It is what it is. There's the messages. We're not conspiracy theorists. We're just telling you what there is, and that's it. You don't have to hate us. I mean, if you hate us, you hate yourself. So, and I'm not even that. I don't even like the word flat earther. I like the word realist human being. Realist in the real world. Take care. So, this is the blue marble, the famous NASA, back in the year 2002, 20 years ago. Back in the day when this first came out, it was like, wow, this is the Earth from space. Anyway, you can see that what we call the demon face, the demonic face. We say demon or diabolical because that's the only word we have in order to communicate what we want to communicate. So anyway, take the blue marble, which is the supreme globe Earth with curved water from space. People, if you go against this, people call you flat earther as a negative term. And then you cut it, and then you have 2 pieces, and then of course you put them together by giving the other piece a 180 degrees, and then you put them together like that, and you have a what we call a demonic, diabolical face. I'm not gonna go into details again because it's up for each person to interpret this as they wish, but the first thing that comes to mind, it's not beautiful, it's not angelic, it's not something cool, it's something scary. They go the same for like other parts of the so-called blue marble, other continents. So you take the piece from Africa and the Arabian Peninsula and Asia, and you switch around, and then you put them together and you have this. But then again, you switch it around again with a different angle, and you have this demonic type of being with a human body, with horns and with bat wings. I think you can actually see them. So those two from different parts of the what we call globe Earth, that's the blue marble, that's the globe Earth, and it goes the same for every single blue marble. There's several blue marbles, several designs on the internet based on different space agencies and different countries. All of them are identical. It's the same pattern over and over again, the cloud formations, and that's your Earth from space. For those of you who don't want to see this, the same cloud formations in Asia, India, and South America, Brazil. In this case, it's in the Caribbean Sea, or the Caribbean islands between North America and South America. It's the same exact pattern. So there, this is your message. I hope people who live on a globe spinning in space with curved water, they're gonna see this video and they're just gonna try and change the way they see the world, because it's not that we are crazy conspiracy people. We're just showing you reality, and this is reality. So these are all the blue marble designs. And then remember this, by the pattern you see the eye. It's very easy to see the eye, so let's take a picture which is let's see if you just see the blue marble like that, the eye, you see. So where India is, you have the eye, and then from that point onwards you can see that cloud formation becomes this, and that's it. Everything is symbology, everything is messages, hidden messages. They're not even so hidden anymore. They're quite hidden if you don't care about doing this like that, because in your computer software you switch the angle and you rotate, but it's basic math, and I'll show you in the next video. I think you can actually see the bat wings, bat wings, just like the demons are associated with horns on their head and bat type of wings. That's the usual thing of a demon. Or I'm not saying that they exist, because we don't even know if they exist or not, and we don't even know why NASA is doing this with this. Yeah, that's the thing. Yeah, that's definitely at least this is the reality. So this is what you see from your super space. Take care.
I've never been to space, but I've looked at these images over and over again, trying to sort of get the essence of it. It is photoshopped, but it's has to be. It is photoshopped, but it's has to be.
Fake you, fake them, fake us, faking it again. Lying dogs, I'm so sick of it. We're in the thick of it. Sleight of hand deflection, reality shows. Fake love, real guile, fake concern all across the aisle. A little fake God with a phony smile. So sick of it, in the thick of it. Sleight of hand deflection, reality shows. Fake this and fake that. If we don't like it, it's fake and that's that. Fake information from the father of lies. Fake salvation shouldn't be a surprise. So sick of it, in the thick of it. Sleight of hand deflection.